vlog. So I'm currently at Lake Cushman. A couple months ago I put out a video where I did a little day trip to the Hood Canal, and I only got about half of my list done, so I said I will do the second half of this list in a part 2 video on another day. And that day is today, which is a super sunny day. But now that I'm in like the mountains, there's starting to be some clouds and stuff. But as you saw earlier on my drive here, the sun is beautiful and bright out by Hood Canal, and we'll be doing some more stuff there. But I have just kind of driven around this area, and I think I'm gonna head out. A couple of the major parks here are closed for winter, which I forgot to check again. I just want to head out and hit up the next thing, but this is Lake Cushman. I think this is like a really popular lake to visit during the summer, but right now it's still just a bit too cold, but it is sure beautiful. I'm in Hoodsport right now, which is a tiny town off of the Hood Canal. And see, I told you, sunshiny day. So this is the Hood Canal, and this is really cute. This canal is saltwater, so because it connects to the Puget Sound and the Strait of Juan de Fuca and the Pacific Ocean. And so sometimes up north, where we will go later today, sometimes there's orcas around there. So orcas do come in to this Hood Canal area, which is pretty cool. Today, I think they are, well, yesterday or last night I checked the days before report saying that the orcas were north of Seattle, so I don't think they'll be down here, but I'll keep my eye open. Pretty sure this is one of the biggest cities on the Hood Canal, so that's probably the storm I saw brewing when I was in the mountains, because it is nice and clear out here. I want to check out 2 lighthouses that are going to be more in the mountains, so I'm hoping that the weather will hold up and they're not too snowy, but that's just gonna, I'm not gonna know until I go to the roads themselves, so onward. I don't think I can go any farther. It looks, you know, pretty tame on the camera right here, but I drove down a little bit, and that center medium of snow is very high, and I'm in a very tiny, short Prius, so this sucks, but I think I'm gonna have to turn around. And I'm still like 6 miles, so if it's 6 miles of that, I don't trust the car, and I imagine it gets a little bit worse, so I'm gonna have to put a pin in this for another time. It sucks, but I just gotta trust my gut, you know, I don't want to get stuck. I'm getting out of here. I hope it's gonna be just as empty as it was getting in, because there's really only like one road path. Otherwise it's pretty much covered in snow, so hopefully I can share the road with no one. If there is a pullover spot, I saw like a cute kind of moody, creepy, fogging looking river over here. I'll pull over there, but otherwise on to, let me get out of these mountains, back to the Hood Canal, and then drive up a little more north and venture in to see some other waterfalls. I love the moss of the peninsula. Like, I've seen this moss. Let me try and see if I can point to some up here. I've seen some moss in other parts of like the Pacific Northwest, but when I think of like moss like this, I think of the Washington Peninsula. And in Olympic National Park, there is the Hall of Mosses, which is gorgeous. I'm technically in Olympic National Forest, like this big national recreation area on the peninsula, and I think the peninsula is this really cool, exciting place, and there's so much on it that I haven't explored yet, and I could spend like a month here. It's so gorgeous. Well, that's great. Lame! Barely any water coming down from this boy. Lame. This rock though is like massive. That is so tall. Like I feel like I'm in Zion again. It's so tall. During the summer, this is just like a huge horsetail of falls. I didn't even think that there would be like no water. Ugh, okay. Okay. I've seen pictures of people like swimming and hanging out in this lake area, so during the summer, a lot more water. It's only like a 0.1 mile hike in. It's a very short hike, so that's fine. And this river's pretty beautiful and pretty standard PNW, so I'm down for that. The sun. So I'm at a park. The view looks pretty okay. I'll show you here. Let me show you. You know, more pretty lakes and islands and tunnels and whatnot. Tunnels? No, channels. That's what I meant. But I saw this sign, so I just followed it down here. I'm pretty much done with my list of things. The last thing that I have is the Hood Canal Bridge, and I've gone over there a couple times, and I always thought that it was a floating bridge. Like it is a floating bridge. I thought it was a pedestrian bridge that you can walk on, but driving over it a couple times, I don't think you can. But I am gonna drive over that and head home and catch the ferry and hopefully get sunset on the ferry. But I think I want to start heading home from here. To get on the 440. That's the one that's arriving right now, so that's super exciting. Waiting in line for the ferry right now, and I won't have to wait until the 5:30. I have the 440 right here. Perfect timing. It has been like a really beautiful sunny day, and I hope that like is shown in my videos today. I feel like a couple of places I've been were a bust, but summer is just starting, so I have all season to go out and do wonderful, wonderful adventures. Like just driving through this area to get from the Hood Canal to this ferry terminal, there's this big section that I think I might go next week to check it out and film it, because it's really, really pretty, especially now that it's super sunshiny. The Hood Canal was really pretty today, but the problem was that a lot of the area was private beaches, private resorts, private parks, like, you know, it's all just bought up in private, not really much is public, and like the couple areas that I went to check out that were public were kind of like dingy, or you know, just not as cool as some of the other places and whatnot, and not a lot of places to just pull off the road, because there's a lot of really cool like marshlands and things like that, but with nowhere to pull over, you know. But a lot of no trespassing signs, a lot of private property signs, which sucks, but I get it and I hate it at the same time, you know. Nature should be shared, but also tourists suck, you know. All right, I am going to get onto this ferry. This is probably like not a good. Okay, so oops. I'm on the ferry in my car right now. Everybody's still loading up, and I'm checking to see if there's any orca updates since we are in orca territory. Something about Trump. Last night we received orcas southbound in Upper Admiralty sometime. Morning pod off North Seattle. I hear Admiralty Bay a lot, and I can never remember where it is. This like is really shaking. Oh, we're moving. Close by. I realize that most people just stay in their car. Like, walking around the car deck, like, it's just a bunch of people napping and playing, like, phone games in their car. Don't they see how beautiful the view is? All right, well, I am currently home. I'm just laying in my car to close this out. Today was such like a beautiful and sunny day, and I'm kind of bummed that I missed sunset, but I forgot, like, with daylight savings that now, and it becoming more winter time, that sunset's gonna be at like 7, 9 o'clock. Like, it's 6 o'clock right now and it's starting to get golden hour, so I think that sun's gonna set around 7 where I you know, the past couple months it's been setting at like 4:30. That's a bummer, but I still had fun ganting and gallivanting around the Hood Canal. I think another thing that has just been kind of like on my head is like my energy level. I feel just so drained, and I really didn't do that much today, and that's something that I really want to work on in the future, and something I'll be talking a lot more on my channel, I think. Speaking of, I want to know what you guys want to see. I want to be more consistent in making videos, and I'd love to know what you'd like to see. So let me know your thoughts on this video. I'm gonna go inside and make some dinner and edit some photos. So I want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Happy travels from me to you, and get home safely. Bye guys.